Here we go again. In 2017, when Wonder Woman was released, it was hailed as one of the greatest comic book adaptations ever. Everyone claimed it was groundbreaking. They made it sound as if it made people open to the idea of female action stars and superheroes on the big screen for the first time ever. That it was a major step for women, and that it was groundbreaking for women filmmakers. And of course, if anyone didn't like it, they were somehow sexist, or afraid of a strong female lead, or afraid of women filmmakers. The same type of press is already coming out for Captain Marvel, but we'll hit on Captain Marvel in a moment. First, let's look at how groundbreaking Wonder Woman really was. We'll start with Patty Jenkins. Make no mistake that Jenkins is a great director. Her 2000 film Monster proves that she's a great director, and Wonder Woman proved that Monster was not a fluke. But was Wonder Woman groundbreaking? I don't think so. Mimi Leder has done more in film and long before Jenkins. Leder directed the 1997 action film The Peacemaker, as well as the 1998 science fiction film Deep Impact. So she tackled both action and sci-fi long before Jenkins came around. Gail Ann Hurd has produced some of the greatest films of all time, such as The Abyss, Aliens, Armageddon, and the Terminator franchise, which she also co-wrote the first one. She also was producer on one of the most successful shows ever, The Walking Dead.
I gotta admit, I'm a bit partial to her though.
But we can't forget all the women that write and direct for television as well. Jane Espenson, Marty Noxon, and Vanessa Taylor, just to name a few. So despite how good Jenkins is, she didn't break any ground. She was just in the right place at the right time. Were people ready for a female-led superhero movie with a strong female lead? Is that really as groundbreaking as they claim? We have had strong female leads forever. From Dorothy in Wizard of Oz to Elizabeth Taylor in Cleopatra in 1963. Then in 1973, even though it was part of the blaxploitation genre, Cleopatra Jones came out and it dominated the box office. And of course, let's not forget Star Wars in 1977 introduced us to Princess Leia, a headstrong woman that always stood her ground. Then the 70s closed out with Alien, which introduced the world to Ellen Ripley, a character that was just as badass and got even more badass as the franchise progressed into the 80s.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Let's not forget 70s television, which aired Charlie's Angels. Not one, but three strong female characters that were private detectives. There were also superhero shows such as The Bionic Woman, The Secrets of Isis, and of course, Wonder Woman. Entering the 80s, we saw even more strong female leads appear. In television, we had Cagney and Lacey, Murphy Brown, Murder, She Wrote, and Deanna Troi, Beverly Crusher, and Tasha Yar in Star Trek The Next Generation. In film, we had Nancy prevail against Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street, Alex Owens, who fulfills her life dream in Flashdance, and James Cameron introduced us to Dr. Lindsay Brigman in the film The Abyss. Brigman was a tough, career-oriented, smart, and successful woman. Cameron also introduced us to Sarah Connor in the Terminator series. As an audience, we saw Sarah Connor evolve from a timid character in the 80s film into arguably the baddest woman in film to date by the 90s.
This isn't real leather, is it? Look at it this way, in 100 years, who's gonna care?
Entering the 90s, we only saw more strong women enter film and television. Television saw the rise of Dana Scully in X-Files, Buffy Summers in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Susan Ivanova, Delenn, and Elizabeth Lockley in Babylon 5, Xena Warrior Princess, and Samantha Carter in Stargate. Film also saw another version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but it also saw Leeloo Dallas in Fifth Element, Internal Affairs Detective Lorna Cole in Lethal Weapon 3, Dr. Robbie Coe in Outbreak, Julia Roberts as law student Darby Shaw in The Pelican Brief, and Roberts again as lawyer Alice Sutton in Conspiracy Theory, and brilliant scientist Dr. Eleanor Arroway in the film Contact. And let's not forget the badass Trinity in the Matrix trilogy. and government-trained assassin Samantha, played by Gina Davis in The Long Kiss Goodnight, just to name a few. So from the 2000s till now, we saw even more strong women characters. Television saw practically every female character in Battlestar Galactica be a strong female character, including Mary McDonnell as the president of the colonies. In film, we saw Uma Thurman in Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. Angelina Jolie played numerous strong female characters such as Sarah Whalen in Gone in 60 Seconds, Lara Croft in the Lara Croft series, and police officer Amelia in The Bone Collector. Rose McGowan played Cherry Darling in Planet Terror, Michelle Rodriguez in films like Fast and Furious, Girl Fight, and Avatar, Salt with Angelina Jolie in 2010. Then there's Mila Jovovich as Alice in the Resident Evil films, and again as Violet Sharif in Ultraviolet. Charlize Theron in Aeon Flux, Mad Max Fury Road, Monster, and most recently Atomic Blonde, to name only a few of her films. Then later on, Scarlett Johansson played Black Widow in Avengers, as well as Lucy. We can go on and on. So what is groundbreaking about Wonder Woman? Nothing. It's a great movie, a bit overhyped since it kind of falls flat in the third act, and has a couple of SJW moments that kind of take you out of the movie. But it is a good movie. But it isn't groundbreaking in any way. We've seen women play strong female characters in both lead and supporting roles. We've seen women behind the camera as directors, screenwriters, and producers. Some might say, finally, it was a female superhero movie, or that people finally seem ready for them. But we have seen female superhero movies before. But movies like Supergirl and Catwoman both flopped for the same reason the Wonder Woman series starring Adrian Palicki in 2011 was never picked up. The stories were horrendous. So now we get here and we realize they say the same thing every single time a female-led movie comes out. Oh, it's groundbreaking. Oh, it does wonders for the women movement. Blah, 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 blah. No and no. Now they call everyone sexist if you don't like them and claim people are scared of a strong female lead, which I've just proven they are not. Audiences love characters with depth, purpose, and soul, regardless of what gender or color they are. It is just the media milking a sick trend that seems to show that everyone in this country is either racist or sexist when they're not. Captain Marvel is the latest. It isn't groundbreaking either, but people are already hating it. Not because of the movie, but because of the actress. Brie Larson says the dumbest things. It's not that audiences are sexist, it's that she is bad for the movie. It's one stupid comment after the next with her. Her stupid tweet at the airport when a man asked for her number, saying women always live on the defensive. Oh, shut up. Well, if he was rich and hot, she wouldn't have cared at all. But because he wasn't to her liking, somehow he's hurting or offending her. Men asking for numbers is a part of how we continue to procreate and continue the human race. Many very successful relationships started with someone asking for a phone number. If she said yes, and it turned out to be the love of her life, would it have been viewed as a bad thing? Of course not. But she wasn't interested and could have simply said no thanks and moved on. But she had to turn this into some sort of feminist activist moment. That's disgusting behavior on her part. Then her saying she wants audiences that are less white and more representative of the real world. Does she realize what that really means? By that standard, that means she wants only 13% of her audience to be black, or only 3.8% to be gay. How about you let anyone that wants to see your movie go see your movie? Be happy you have an audience. Be happy you have fans. Jump for joy if the movie's successful. A certain character or performance might resonate with a certain crowd that you just don't expect. So don't be an asshole. I would say bitch, but then I'd be accused of being a sexist for that from insane people. Be thankful for whoever shows up. She has nothing but bad press, and the media love making it sound like everyone else is to blame. But I digress. Don't expect this kind of narrative to change anytime soon. As long as they continue to profit by making everyone believe women are oppressed and finally breaking some mythical glass ceiling, they will continue this lie. They profit because everyone loves a good underdog story, so why not create one? And of course, being a Marvel movie, this Captain Marvel's going to do well. Not because of Brie in any way whatsoever, but because it's Marvel. Unfortunately, even Rotten Tomatoes is in on this. Captain Marvel was review bombed by people that never even saw the movie, and now Rotten Tomatoes has purged reviews and does everything in their power to help this movie succeed. Don't get me wrong, I think it's stupid to hate on anything you haven't even seen yet. But why didn't they care when DC Films went through all that? This is a double standard and it pisses me off. I just hope that in time people see past these marketing lies that are just designed to make people get in the seats to see something prevail over some mythical obstacle. Women have always had a place in film. Stop acting like they don't. And in the meantime, stop being a pawn in a marketing ploy. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for future content.